You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Megan, and we're two boss babes sharing our businesses and inspiring you along the way.
Today we are doing a fun little recap of life, and we are talking all things vision boards, goals, setting yourself up for success in 2025. And we had been wanting to do this episode for quite some time now. And we're here. We are live. We are back in action.
It's still winter. It's not too late. It's February, but we're there. We're there. It's before the busy season, so I'm excited.
I had talked about, I think in a previous episode, where I feel like this year I got sick during New Year's and it kind of like bumped my year off to start slow. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that is my vibe this year. Like I am just gonna, because you know me, I'm like go, 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 go. And then when I'm not going, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing something. I'm going crazy right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like the universe is like telling me like, Jen, this is your year to like relax, calm down, even though my word is bold. But you know what? I'm going to make bold moves quietly this year. I think.
Yes. I like that.
I like that too. So we're just going to kind of recap because last episode we had a guest on. So we haven't really lovely Dev. We haven't really kind of like chatted, our little chat. But I have been keeping busy in the month of January and February. Mostly February, actually, because I didn't really do much in January. I was very lucky. I had a lot of bookings come in, which was awesome towards the later part of January. I was a little nervous in the beginning because I was like, where is everyone? It was very quiet. But I think everyone was also starting their year off a little quiet. But I recently just did a makeup and cocktail class, which was the first time I've done something like that. It was super fun. And how that kind of evolved was very interesting. So I started co-helping two other girls in my town in Trumbull, Connecticut, start up a Women Entrepreneurs of Trumbull Facebook group, which also I'm running the Instagram side of it. And we do monthly or bi-weekly coffee meetups. And it's really fun. The first one we got, I think like 8 or 9 women, all own businesses or live in Trumbull, which is so awesome because we're creating like a little community. And then 2 of us from that group ended up partnering and doing a makeup and class together. So it was a makeup artist who's local to Trumbull and then a fitness studio where we hosted it.
Cool.
And it was so fun. We had 11 women who came to learn about how to continue to wear makeup as our skin is aging and as we're aging and our fine lines and wrinkles are all coming in. And it was really interesting because I felt like I was applying makeup the right way, but not the way that I should be, kind of thing. I've been doing my makeup the same since I was in college, with a little less glitter, a little less sparkle, a little less white eyeliner. That was the thing. So it was really interesting just to hear a professional side of it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And then last night I actually did my candle and cocktail class, which I've done twice now with Weekend Glow. She's amazing. She's a small business out of Stanford, and her classes sell out within 24 to 48 hours, which is amazing.
Wow.
And it was just such a fun experience. She does such a great job, and I love that I could be a part of that world with her too.
I need to come to the next one. I remember the first one that you did with her. I was too late to get tickets, and it just like sold out like so quick. So I really want to go to the next one. I love her vibe.
Everyone, it was like Galentine's theme.
Oh, that's so cute.
We had one gentleman there with us, and he was such a trooper. He was awesome. And everyone was just like, women came by themselves, met other women.
That's so fun.
It was just really, we had a group, like groups of 5, groups of 2, groups of 3, and everyone was just having like a really fun night. It was really, really nice. Dev came to support, love her. So it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's kind of like what I've been keeping up with.
Nice.
What
I love that.
What have you been up to?
I shot a proposal weekend before last.
Wait, is this the one? Oh my God, you gotta tell the audience.
This is the one. Okay. For those of you who are maybe like watching this a year from now, or like you're not in the know, I've only shot one proposal ever, and I don't know why nobody's just ever asked me to shoot proposals before, but I'm in a couple photography group chats on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And so there was one where somebody DM'd to the group, I have this inquiry for Powder Ridge for a proposal at the top, but the thing is you have to ski or snowboard down. They're not allowing us to ride the lift down. So this guy had a photographer, found that out, and then she had to cancel on him because she wasn't comfortable riding back down the mountain, which with your like $1,000 gear, like, yeah, understandable. But luckily I have Jake, and he's actually good, and he loves outdoor sports. He loves snowboarding. He's like all about that kind of stuff, and he's totally fine. So I was like, I'll take this inquiry, like, if my boyfriend can come with me, and as long as they don't want photos at the bottom, because I'm really, really slow, but I can make it down. So the guy reached out to me, and he was like, oh, that's fine, because my kids will be there, and they're slow too, so, like, we'll probably make it down to the bottom at the same time if we even do photos down there. And I was like, okay, great, this is great. And I was waiting for him at the top. He got there. He told his family that they were doing family photos. I mean, not pretty suspicious, but
suspicious,
very suspicious. But it was hard to like figure out the timing with the lift, because I had to be waiting at the top for him. But like, if you're like the girl like riding up the lift with your boyfriend, and you know, like, he's waiting at the top like acting weird, and there's this girl over there with like just standing there, like, you know, there's like nowhere to hide at the top of a mountain, like when you're in a park or somewhere.
Wait,
like
I could see you like hiding in the trees,
you know. Yeah. but like at the top of the mountain, like,
right,
there's nothing to do besides go back down. Like, people don't loiter at the top of a ski lift. So he ended up telling her that they were doing family photos, and so he approached me. They all knew my name already. It was like fine. They had 3 kids that were like 10 to 8, I think, or like 12 to 8, I forget. So they were all like pretty old and independent and fine. And he got down on one knee. He said, will you marry me? She said yes. And then Jake is filming beside me, because I was like, oh, well, my boyfriend's coming. He can do like a video on my phone, and I'll take the pictures and everything will be good. And I let them have their space, have their moment. She says yes. And as he goes to put the ring on her finger, I'm like, okay, I got to get a little bit closer. Now that they've had their time, I can move in a little bit. And they're inside of this gazebo. And so the ground kind of dips down before the gazebo, because, you know, it's kind of on a hill and it's, you know, heavy. So it's not like on a flat piece of dirt. So I'm walking like down, and I'm on top of this ski mountain. I'm in my snowboard boots. I can't like walk very good, but I am wearing my helmet, thankfully. So I slipped. It was like slushy snow. It wasn't even ice. So I was like, oh, I'm fine. But I slipped, like fell flat on my butt and back. My camera was fine. My back was fine. I was perfectly fine. It wasn't a big deal at all. But so embarrassing, such horrible timing, because I'm like right there, and he literally just asked her to propose, like asked her to marry him. He just proposed. She said yes, and then like I like flattened on the ground. So embarrassing.
All this is Jake got it all on video.
He got it all on video. I like, because I was walking closer to the couple, I like walked perfectly into frame for him to see me fall. It was so bad. And so the guy even like got off of his knee and was like walking over to me like, oh, are you okay? I was like, stop, get away from me. I was like, go back to your wife. I was like, oh my God, no. So got back up, kept on keeping on, took all the pictures that we needed, and it didn't even really like hit me what happened until after the proposal was over, and I was like hugging them goodbye, and I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? Like, I like didn't even process that I ate shit until I like was done with the photos, because you know, like, you're in the moment, and you're like, you're working, that like you're not thinking about like, oh, I'm hungry, or you're not thinking about, oh, I'm thirsty. Like, you're busy in the moment. And so it was the same kind of thing. As soon as it was over, I was like, did that just happen? And Jake is like trying to hold back his laughter, and he's like rewatching the video, and like we see how perfectly I walk into frame and just like fall, just like completely fall. So if you want to see that, go to my Instagram.
Yep.
Hilarious. I got an inquiry off of that video. Actually, another guy was like, oh, I saw the proposal video, are you okay, by the way? I really want to have you take my photos of me proposing. I was like, oh my God.
Be like, I promise I won't fall unless you want that
it was
content.
So funny though, like in his inquiry, like intake form, in like the message, like, how'd you find me? He was like, oh, I found you on Instagram. I saw the video of you falling. Hope you're okay. The photos came out great. I was like, thank you.
That is absolutely Kodak.
So that was funny. Funny.
I love that.
So that's what I've been up to.
Meghan is okay. We are all okay. Oh my gosh, that my cheeks like hurt from laughing right now. But I just love that we can like brush stuff like that off also, because if we didn't, we'd be in a long industry of shit hitting the fan and us not being able to literally bounce back up. But good job for bouncing back up. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. It was definitely an experience, and I felt like I needed to be humbled, and there it was. So
you did.
That was my good balance of karma.
I love that for you. All right, so we are going to dive into vision boards today. I am super excited. Last year, I actually hosted a vision board class, which was so fun. I didn't do it this year because I just couldn't get my stuff together in time, to be honest. But it was really, really fun. Everyone who walked out of that room just felt like a sense of excitement for the year. So I look at vision boards as a necessity. I feel like it should be something that you can do very quickly on your own on Canva. Is that where you created yours, on Canva? Yeah. I haven't created mine yet this year, but I plan to do mine on Canva too. I typically do mine with cutouts where I'm literally putting paper, like newspaper or not newspaper, magazines, and writing and printing out some pictures. But I think this year I am going to do it on Canva because I actually want to put it on the background of my phone. I think that is something I'm going to look forward to this year because you can look at it all the time. You're always on your phone. And they truly say that, I heard an example on a podcast recently where they were like, if you start to think that you want to buy a red car, you start to see red cars everywhere. And it's called your RAS system. And I don't fully know what that means yet. I'm going to do a little more research, but I've heard of this before.
Okay.
But it's basically like your brain thinking about the red cars so that you're going to see it more and more because you're thinking about it. And it's the same thing, like if you, like when back in high school, I had a Scion TC and I thought I was like the coolest thing ever. And it was like this little sport car that you literally could not see out the back window. It was the blind spot in that car was so bad. I was like, how did you pass any testing to make this like street legal? But anyway, I would see Scions everywhere. And I'm like, how dare they get the same car as me? But it's because I had one. I was thinking about it all the time. I was in it all the time. So that is kind of your RAS system saying like, you need to see things in front of you to continue to remind yourself about that. And that's why it's so important to have your vision board somewhere where you can see it all the time. So if you do have a specific board that you actually create, have it be next to your computer. Have it be somewhere, have it be in your bathroom that you look at every morning. Have it be next to your bed. Like have it be somewhere where you can physically see it, because it is going to remind you of those little things that you tend to forget about that are on your goals and your vision for the year.
I really like that. I think I might print mine out and put it like behind my desktop computer right here on the wall so that like I don't see it all the time. Like it's not annoying, but like if I'm ever in the mood and I like just slide it over and I can look at it. I think I might do that because I actually did make a physical one as well. Also like a recent thing, I joined a photography accountability group, which is really
Go you
cute.
Girl.
Yeah, I was like invited. It was so fun. A friend of mine, or well, now we're friends. We were just like DMing and she was like, oh, like I host this group. We do like a monthly meeting and it's like group therapy. And I was like, oh my gosh, sold. So so that was fun. One of the girls in the group was hosting like a vision board party, and so I like went to the grocery store on the way and like bought a bunch of magazines, and everybody did them on Canva except for me because I was like, well, I bought the magazine, so I'm gonna do it. So I could show it to you. I have it right there, but it's like not good because it's not intentional, and I feel like my plan for the year, my vision for the year, my vision board should be intentional, you know, but I was just kind of doing quotes that I saw that I liked that were in the magazines, and I like brought a couple stickers and like that was it. So I wanted to make one off Canva because, you know, you were talking about it and we said that we wanted to do it for the episode, and I liked how all the other girls in the group that were making them beside me, and when we were done, we like went around the room and each shared about it, and all of them were like so intentional. They were like, oh, I picked this photo because, but like for me, it was just like, well, I liked this quote, and and I was like trying as hard as I could to like relate it to myself, but it wasn't like super intentional. So I'm gonna show you mine when we're ready. And a lot of them like are pictures that I took and like pictures that are of me, or like some of them are Pinterest inspiration. But
I want to feed off of that. So I recently heard another I did a little bit of research when I was doing my vision board class about what to put on your board and how to create your board. And they said that either use your own photos specifically, but have it be in a way of like, for example, if something you want to do this year is travel, put a picture of your favorite place that you traveled with and put that on your vision board to remind yourself of how you felt in that experience and how to do that more of. Or if it's like someone's back and, they have a ponytail and long hair and you have a ponytail with long hair, try to use pictures that look like you or somehow you can like picture yourself in that moment, right? Because then it's going to make you feel a certain way.
I feel like I can achieve that. That can be me. That looks like me.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I think I did that.
Ooh.
I think I did that. I'm excited for you to see.
Yeah. Let's pull yours up.
Okay. Elevate your photography business with Narrative Select. Focus more on creating and less on repetitive tasks like checking eyes, focus, or matching skin color tones. Say goodbye to slow software, load raw files in seconds, review images instantly, and export your selections to Lightroom in style with just one click. Cull your photo shoots twice as fast using Narrative Select. Try Narrative Select plus Edit today with 1,000 free edits with the link below.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so for our audio listeners, might be a good idea to go over to our YouTube, or maybe we can post them when you do yours too. We can post them on our Instagram. Maybe that would be good.
Yep.
Mine's horizontal, so...
So the other thing too, I heard this kind of saying about vision boards, and it was give your year a theme and direction and be very clear of what you want to achieve. And I thought that was really interesting. Like, I'm excited to, I love it. It's so pretty. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Obsessed.
Okay, continue.
I can't wait for everyone to see this. But yeah, give your year a theme and direction. And I thought that was so interesting because I feel like you go into vision boards and you're like, I want to do all of these things. Like, this is how I used to do vision boards and how I still kind of did them until how I'm going to do it this year. Like, you have a goal, make your vision board based around your goal.
Yes.
But have the big goal and then have little tiny tangents to go into that main goal. And I'm going to talk about like an exercise after the vision board of like how you can pick your big goals and put them into micro goals, because I learned that this year with my coach and I'm excited to dive into that. So
okay. I think I'm going to start in this top right corner of my vision board then, because it goes right off of what you just said. So I found this template on Canva. Sorry, the brightness is kind of low. I'm going to keep it that way just because, or actually no, I'll brighten it. I was going to keep it kind of dark because it picks up better on the camera, but I'll just put the actual picture on the screen. So duh. Hold on. Let me turn my audio off on my laptop. Okay. So, yeah, these are all pictures either that I took or a couple of them are from Pinterest, one's from Instagram. But, yeah, the ones that I took are just like memories of like what you said, like just inspiration of like, oh, I want to do more of this year, or like this reminds me of that and I want to dive deeper into whatever. So anyway, so going into that top right corner, plans in motion. This is like my big goal for 2025 because I completely align with what you said of like having your big goal and then have a couple little goals that will either help you achieve that or like just are going to better you in general as well. So like my big goal is obviously I'm moving in next year. So year and a half. And in order to do that, I'm trying to think like very logistically, at least for my business, of like how I want my business to get there, because I would really rather not have like a dark period where like, oh, I'm struggling to shoot and like, how do I get started? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm starting from scratch. And I think in order to do that, I need to get started as soon as possible to have it slowly burn into me being in Alaska, if that makes sense. So I'm doing my retreat not next month. Whoa. Thank gosh. It's not March yet. In April. I'm going in April to Oregon and then Washington for a styled shoot and retreat. So I'm so excited about that because I would love to, while I'm in Alaska living there, when I'm settled, I would love to shoot a little bit in the Pacific Northwest, do like a 2-hour plane ride to Washington or whatever, because I feel like that's not that crazy and that might open up my market a little bit and I might be able to book more and just have more reach if I'm not isolating myself to just Alaska, because I am happy to travel at least a little bit. I don't want to be like a travel photographer all the time and I don't want to be going everywhere, but within like a 3-hour plane ride, maybe like every other month or something, I would be so content to do that. So plans in motion. that's my first step in the plan, was the retreat. Actually, it didn't happen first, but in the like chronological order of 2025, that's what's going to happen first. And then after that, I have a wedding in Alaska in this coming July. So I'm so excited about that. I'm filming a wedding. Jake is going to be my second shooter. And we have one in Maine before that where he can kind of like practice, where it's like that wedding is more low key. We're offering less included in the package. It's just like a documentary video. And then this Alaska wedding is like full-fledged, like into the art, like super excited. So Jake's gonna have a little bit of practice. He's gonna work with me. And coincidentally, the week that we have our tickets for, and obviously the wedding is on a weekend, so we could have like hung out for the week in Alaska the week after the wedding, but we decided to go the week before. And after we booked the tickets, like literally, I think it was like a week or two after, a friend of mine sent me a post about a styled shoot happening in Alaska the week that I'm there, and within like the general hour or two, all the locations of the shoot are where we're staying. And I'm like, is that not a sign from the universe? Yes. Obviously I have to get a ticket. So I'm going to 2 shoots there. So excited about that. So this summer I'm going to have a ton of content to be able to post for Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, as much as I desire. And I'm going to try to make my feed, because I'm done booking for 2025. So my plan is now focused on 2026, which is Alaska. So I'm setting that plan in motion. I'd like half of my feed to transform into Alaska content because people are planning their weddings for 2026 now, and I would love to book for the fall of 2026 because we're going to be driving and settling in the summer. Okay. I'll probably book a couple in the spring here, like April and May. I would love to continue to book a little bit so that I don't have a ton on my plate while we're in the move. Yeah. But, I'll be here, so why not? So I might do like maybe 2 or something in April and May. So excited about that. And then I want to transform my feed now so that people know that I'm for real actually moving there, and maybe I can get jobs second shooting and just be able to network and stuff then, because people will be like, okay, she's serious about this, she's legit, she's not just talking about it, it's not a pipe dream, she like actually has shot there, she has content there, like that's for real. So that is my big 2025 goal, is focusing on that, at least business wise. That's my goal. And I guess life wise, because that will be my new life. Yeah. And I want to, just have things with my business seamlessly lead from here to there. I want it to be as peaceful and quiet and easy to transfer myself there as possible. I don't want to feel like I'm starting from scratch, because I just did that. We're 4 years into our business now, and I mean, it feels like a while ago that I got started, but like I'm so settled here with like all of the connections that I've made, and it sounds very exhausting to be thinking about starting from scratch. And I don't want to do that, because I'm the same person. My style is the same. Who I am and what I want to shoot is the same. And so I would love to just kind of like slowly make my way over there instead of feeling like I'm starting from scratch. Because I think that is like the most daunting thing when people think about moving their business, is like feeling like they have to start over. But like, I don't think you do. I think you just have to move yourself there kind of slowly. So I'm trying to plan things out like 2 years out. I mean, I booked that July wedding in like October or November, I think. So that's been in the works for a while. And then I bought these 2 shoot tickets. So I'm going to be filming and photographing in my dream home. So as I'm going through it, do you want to say like what your plan is, like as I'm talking? Like do you have anything that you want to say about yours as we're going through?
I think I'll just let you tackle this one today.
Okay, guys.
You're gonna hit Meg.
I'm gonna be talking forever.
At the end, I'm gonna regroup, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give tips and tricks on how to set goals and attainable goals, tangible goals, and how to do micro mini goals. That's my contribute for this episode.
Okay. All right. And then when you make yours,
yes,
you'll have the floor on the next one. Okay. So that is my big goal for 2025. And then in my business life and then my personal life, I think my big goal is to have healthy habits, and just I don't want to say reinvent myself, but every couple of years I have the urge to like reinvent myself, if that makes sense. So this is one of those years where I'm just feeling like drawn to like let go and like do my own thing and kind of like start fresh. Like I'm just feeling like I want to just like butterfly, you know, like get out of my cocoon. Like I want to just kind of start over.
Okay, I do want to put something in there.
Okay, go ahead.
I am currently purging the hell out of my house.
Good.
Because, and not that like, I mean, I do have a lot of shit, but like, not that I need to purge that much, but like I feel like I need
feels
to start
good.
over. Yeah, it feels really freaking good.
Yeah, I've been doing my closet little by little, like giving stuff to Savers and Goodwill, and like, my mom donates stuff like crazy also. So every now and then I'm like giving her a trash bag. I'm like, get this out of the house. Yes. And it feels good.
My husband gets so mad because he like doesn't have, like I usually do it when he's working, and so he doesn't really, in the weekends like we're doing things, so he doesn't have the time to like sit and do it with me. And he's like, well, what did you give away? What was it? I was like, obviously if you don't know about it, you're not missing it.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to get that in his head.
Can't picture what it is, what you're missing, then you're not missing it. Yeah. What is it? There's like some famous person who like wrote a book about it, and it was like, if you haven't wore it or like used it in the past 6 months, get rid of it. I forget what it is. It's not serving you.
And I did this one year, but then I failed the latter part of it. They say you're supposed to put your hangers all one way, and then when you wear something, put it back in the other way, so it's showing you wore it within those 6 months or that year. That. And if whatever hangers are still the other way, get rid of it. Like, don't even think twice about it.
Way like that. Yeah, because this is also the phase that I'm in right now, thinking that, I'm moving in the next year and a half. I don't want to have like this daunting task like a month before we're moving, where I'm like, oh crap, my closet. What am I going to do with this? Because I don't want to leave my parents with a burden of like having all this crap in the house that they don't want and I don't want, and make them get rid of it. Because after we move, they're planning to probably follow us
to Alaska.
Not to Alaska, but to that coast. Okay. They're probably going to move to the West Coast because my sister lives in California. Yeah, and there's no like immediate family that's keeping them here. Both of their parents have passed. All of my grandparents have passed. My mom's an only child, and my dad has a sibling that he doesn't really talk to. So they have like some extended family, like cousins and, whatever. But we don't have like any immediate family left except me and my sister. And if we're both on the other coast, like what's keeping them here? Yeah. And they're kind of in the phase of like wanting to retire and start new. And, my sister's probably going to have kids and I don't know. So
did they get engaged?
Not yet.
Are they okay? Well, we won't share anything.
We don't need to get that public. But long story short, I'm trying to, like you're saying about purging and the closet thing. Like I'm in the mindset of like, this is my last year here. I'm like giving myself that goal of like appreciate what I have here, appreciate my last final moments in Connecticut and like my hometown and where I've grown up. And as much as I've been like itching and dying to get out since I was like in high school, like you like want to just leave. Now that I've been here, I'm like in my final moments here that I'm getting kind of like a bittersweet, like heartbroken at the same time feeling about it, because I'm like, I do really love it here, but I hate it here at the same time. So I'm like, I'm excited to start fresh. But I'm also know that I'm going to miss what I have, and I'm going to miss living with my parents as much as I would like to leave. Now that I know I'm going to leave and I have a plan and I have a date set for it, kind of, now I'm kind of like sad about it. So that's what this bottom left corner is about, is cherish this moment. I'm pet sitting right now, so if you guys have heard like a dog toy squeaking or like rattling of his collar, I'm pet sitting right now. And so this is a picture. He goes on a walk every day. He's a little white dog, and a lot of little white dogs only poop if they're on walks. It's just like a weird little white dog quirk. So he's one of those dogs where he will not poop in the yard. He will not poop like in the driveway. He has to be like on a legitimate walk in order to poop. So
well, you're getting your steps in.
So yes, every time I sit for him, I really get my steps in, and I feel really good about it. I love just like having a good 30 minutes at least of time outside just to think, listen to music, walk with him, just like let my thoughts go. It feels so good. And so even when I'm not sitting for him, I would kind of like to make that a goal of mine. Cammie's like my actual dog. She's really bad with other dogs, and she's not really good on a leash. She's a rescue. So like, as much as I want to take her, I can only take her to places that are really quiet where we won't bump into anybody and that she can actually explore. So it's really hard to walk her like anywhere. There's like nowhere to take her. So, but I might just go take myself on a little walk, a little stroll. So anyway, cherish this moment. I want to do more of that. So that's a picture of us from a couple days ago. And then this is a picture from one of my favorite pictures that I took of Jake and I at an Airbnb. Well, it's not a picture of us. It's a picture of the sunset. But it's like one of my favorite pictures that I think I've taken like since I've become a professional photographer. That's not like professional work. It's like personal work. Because I used to take pictures like that all the time. Going on walks. Like that's how I fell in love with photography, was just taking pictures of things on walks. And I loved that. And I miss that. But like being in this creative field, I'm being creative for other people and for them, and it's not for me. And as much as I enjoy it and it does light me up and it is for me, it's not for me at the end of the day.
Are you looking to up your client experience? HoneyBook is a leading client management tool for accepting inquiries, sending invoice and contracts, and keeping all your emails in an easy and safe space. Check out their amazing tools like the expense tracker, batch email sender, and email templates to get messages to clients with ease. Make your business run faster and more efficiently with HoneyBook. Use the link in the description for 25% off your first year. That's a 1-week free trial and 25% off your first year of HoneyBook with the link below.
And so that like motivation to go outside and do something for me, I'm just like tired at that point and I don't want to do it. So I bought a Fuji camera last year because I shoot Canon professionally. And I was like, maybe if I have like a different camera that's like personal, maybe I'll be like more motivated to go out and do it. So I took this picture on that, and it's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. And so I want to do more of that because I love that. That lit me up, and it wasn't professional work. It was just for fun. So I want to do that more. Cherish what I have here, document what I have here over the next year, because all we have left is memories and photos when we leave. And, you know, especially if my parents move away, like I'm not going to be coming back here. Jake's parents are here. They're probably going to stay here maybe. So I will be able to, you know, visit them, but they don't live in my hometown, you know, so it's just like different. And I've already let go of my childhood house, and maybe I'll do a YouTube channel for myself talking about the move, and maybe I'll get into that a little bit because I think it is like long story short. But this picture on top is of Saugatuck Reservoir. I don't know if you drive past that on your way here, but it's a big, that's what it looks like. This is a picture from the street. And it had this beautiful sunset, cotton candy, pink and blue sky. I was driving past one day. My house is like kind of like around the bend and down that way. So it could be like on your way to like Wilton, maybe the Merritt, if you go the wrong way.
I go that way, I think. Yeah.
Yep. So you probably drive past it just a little bit. So like this is the intersection. You probably go left to my house. I was taking this picture like towards the right. So this is like expansive over like Reading and Wilton and Weston, I think. It like loops through a couple different towns, and it has some trails. Thought we weren't recording for a second. Okay. But yeah, I was driving, and I've always loved this little spot in Reading. I love my town so much. I love Reading, and Alaska feels just like Reading on a gigantic scale. Like it's so quiet here. We don't really have any businesses. We don't have a gas station. We don't have a stoplight. I love it here. And I've loved growing up here. I had a wonderful childhood with a lot of land, and it was just so awesome. And if I have kids, I want them to have that too. And I feel like Alaska is just like everything that I love about how I grew up, and doesn't have any of the things that I hate. Like it's so quiet, no traffic, no cities. All of the things that I don't like are not there. So that's awesome. Less taxes. But anyway, I just loved this picture because it made me feel like, oh my gosh, that's home. And that kind of jumps into these two pictures that I put side by side of myself. One of them is a recent picture of me. That was like a branding headshot. And then the one on the left is a self-portrait that I took when I was first getting started in photography. I was like 19, 20 there, and on the right I'm 23, so not a huge difference. But I feel like even in this side-by-side, you can kind of see like the baby face still. Like my face looks like kind of swollen. Yep. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I look really different. But I mean, I'm wearing different glasses and my hair's dyed, but like besides that, like I'm still in a t-shirt and jeans.
But I don't know. Like just looking at this, like as the outsider, yeah, I feel like on the first picture you look like you're like ready to conquer the world, but you're not sure how yet.
Oh my God.
And then this one, you're like, I got this.
Ah!
Like, you just seem so much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, okay with yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I portray from those two pictures. Like, the growth is real.
Really?
Yes.
That feels
and
so
like,
good.
I know
Thank
your
you.
editing changed. I could see that too.
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Yeah. I want to talk about that too.
Okay. But like, just, I mean, and it's not the smile versus the non-smile either. It's just like, I don't know. You just like, you seem so much more confident in the second picture.
That's crazy. It's crazy to hear it from somebody else because I feel that way, but like, you know, your image of yourself is so different from what other people see. So I was like, I don't know if that's like a me thing.
No.
And like
not.
the memory I attach to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I was working my full-time job at the retirement home and was like, I'm tired of this. I need to get creative. I'm doing the same thing every day. I'm not doing any art. And I did like at least some kind of form of art like every day growing up. Like I was drawing as a kid all the time, and then I did dance from when I was like 5 until 18. And then I did theater in high school and photography a little bit. And then when I was working at the retirement home, I wasn't doing any of that. There was no theater because there was COVID. There wasn't anything like live happening. Couldn't go to the movies, you know, like all of that kind of stuff. Like such a hiatus, such a halt. So I was like, maybe I can get into photography again because that's like a personal thing that I can do. I can just like go outside and do my thing. And I was really motivated by seeing a lot of young women photographers on my Instagram. And I was like, I can do that. Why not? But I was like, who do I ask to take their pictures? Like all my college friends, all my high school friends are at college. I don't have any friends here. Like I don't have anybody to ask to take their picture. And I really wanted to practice doing portraits and like editing skin tones and stuff because I'd never done that before. I'd only ever taken pictures of nature outside and dogs or like quote unquote like street photography. I've like taken pictures of people without them knowing, but like I've never like posed people, never directed anybody, never really edited pictures of people. And I was like, I really want to try that, but I don't know where to start. And so I was like, maybe I'll do some self-portraits. So I went to Saugatuck Falls. That's why those pictures are side by side a little bit, because that is in the woods there. And I set my camera up with like a timer thing, and I just like pranced around in the woods embarrassingly because I was also like, this is stupid, I feel dumb, and I'd like never done it before. But I've been watching people on Instagram like doing self-portraits and things, and I was like, I guess I could try. And I felt like such an idiot, but this was my favorite photo for a long time. And I still like looking back on it, I'm like, oh, I love the editing, but it's so long ago. And when I first got started, so if you're like a budding photographer or like considering getting started, like hold on to all of your files because I don't have access to this anymore. This is a screenshot off my Instagram. I don't even have the picture anymore. I don't have the raw file. I don't have the Lightroom catalog with the edits in it. Like I cannot get this picture back except the screenshot that I have on Instagram. And I'm so upset about it because I loved the editing that I did on there. I didn't use any presets. I was just instinctively editing what I wanted to do, which is what I always did at that time because I didn't know anything. And when I started to get into the Instagram stuff and like watch other photographers and learn from them, because that's how I learned. I'm just self-taught off of like Instagram and YouTube and watching other people do their thing. I learned about presets and learned like, oh, this will help you be more consistent. But buying somebody else's preset, it makes it not me. And I know it's just a starting point, but I got into this huge like deep dive of like the preset thing of like trying out this one, trying out that one, and oh, I should add more warmth because that photographer did it, or like, you know, it wasn't me anymore. And I like even to this day like look back at there were a couple pictures that I really liked from when I did those self-portraits. I look back at those. I made a reel about it and I posted that picture on my Instagram. And sometimes I go back and I'm like, damn, I loved what I did. And that was my first try and I can never get it back. Like, I can't even remember the first thing I did to get the photo to look that way because I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I have no idea if I played with the shadows. I don't know what I played with. I didn't even mask the photo. Like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you can like select a subject and like brighten the subject. I didn't even know that I could do that at that time. I don't even think it was a tool yet. You could like brush things over, but I don't even think I knew how to do that. So like, I don't know how I got this photo to come out low-key so good, because I'm still like really proud of myself for doing that as my very first time on a DSLR, timered. Like, I couldn't even see the back of the picture, and with a DSLR, like, you take the picture and you can't see what it looks like until you've taken the picture. But on mirrorless cameras, you can, it's like your phone, you can see exactly what it looks like as you're taking the picture. But even back then, like, I wasn't even sure if they were coming out good, and they did. And I just like, I used this photo as like a reference all the time to be like, oh, should I make it a little warmer? Should I make it a little more pink, a little more green? Like, I go back to this a lot because that was such a great starting point for me, and I'm really disappointed that I lost it, because I got swept up in what everybody else was doing, and I want to go back to that. Like, I wish like I didn't know what everybody else was doing. I wish I stayed on my own path and kept blazing that trail instead of getting, oops, maybe I should go over here and see what Cassidy Lynn's doing. And, oh, maybe I should go over there and see what Peter McKinnon's doing. Like, I should have just kept doing what I was doing, because it would have felt more right. And so 2025, I want to do more of what feels right for me personally, and forget what everybody else is doing.
But
just
do
be
you
like,
feel like
appreciate it, but like,
Yeah.
stop subconsciously letting it soak into my brain and my work.
Yeah.
Like, I should put up a barrier that's like, I use Instagram for appreciation but not for inspiration. That's what I want to do.
But I feel like I hear what you're saying, where like you got ideas from other photographers and other, people in your life. But I feel like in my scenario, I do that, but then I still have my own way of how I do things. Like, I get inspiration and ideas from other people, but I'm still coming back to how I want to do it in a way. I do feel like I get influenced a lot. So I see what you're saying in that sense. So it's like, how can you peel back the layers to evolve and change? Because we have to.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I was doing research on different brands, and when I did my Instagram class, and one of the things that I was teaching about was Disney, and how Disney changes all the time, but they never steer from who they are and how they make you feel. They make you feel like you're going to one happy place. Their castle has never changed, but they have all new movies that come out. They have all new rides that come out.
That's true.
But they don't steer from, you think of Disney and you feel happy, and
That's
you
true.
feel warm, and you feel like you're coming to an experience where you're going to go to a happy place. But they're changing all the time.
That's true.
So I
That's
feel
true.
like if you go back to that picture and you think, how did I feel in that moment?
Yeah.
And how was my editing different from where it is now? And then you can say, okay, well, maybe I can continue to evolve of how I evolved in the past 3 to 4 years, but I can go back to that and be like, I like this part of it. I don't know. I'm thinking like not my photographer brain, because I don't know those elements of it, but I'm trying to figure out ways, because we have to evolve. That's just how
you're
life
right.
is.
You're right.
But
I shouldn't be as negative about it as I was, because I should just have it like pull from it a little bit instead of completely go back. Like, I don't want to, like, I want to go back to my roots a little bit more, but I see what you're saying. Like, it is okay to change, and my work I've been doing it for so much longer now. Like, my work now is better than what it was then, but there are things about it that I really liked, and I wish I could have back. Yeah.
And go back and say, like, one thing that I'm doing this year is, I used to have a menu board on my trailer, and it was something people talked about all the time, but it was such a labor intensive feature that I just didn't have time to do anymore with having multiple events per weekend. Right. I had to literally scrape off the vinyl from the trailer.
It was the Cricut thing, right?
Yeah. So I just started printing menus now, and I felt like that wasn't the look and feel that I wanted anymore. So I'm now going back to not that version of it, another version, but I have to figure out what that looks like. But I feel like I'm going back to ways that I thought I changed and evolved from, but they worked.
They worked, yeah.
So I feel like it's okay to go back to things that worked.
Yeah.
Because you tried new things and you're like, okay, I didn't love how this came out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you should like, I think all of the changes that you've made happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And it felt right at the time, but maybe you can find ways to go back to like the original ways.
I like that.
But use what you've learned over the past 4 years.
I like that.
You know?
I really like that.
You know?
That's a really good way to look at it. I think part of my like internal struggle that you can't see is like the memories that I associate with that, or this photo that, because I felt so like on track with these photos. Like it felt like me. I was excited. I was feeling like a professional. And then I felt like I got sidetracked and like was trying to fix something that wasn't broken by doing like the whole preset thing.
I also think change is one of the hardest things that we go through. And I think, and I'm using my opinion at this point, I think you're seeing this and you're seeing all the things that are about to change for you too. And you're like, I want to go back to that girl because I know so much is about to happen, but I want to go back to her because I was safe there and I was comfortable there.
Therapy session with Jen.
Yeah, it's so funny. I literally just sent a reel to all of my girlfriends and it was like, who needs a therapist when I have you guys?
Oh my gosh.
Like, no, I don't need to pay a professional. I just have you guys.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. Subconsciously, that's probably what it is. Yeah, and I just didn't have it in words. Maybe
I just and I'm pointing at like Meghan's future picture, her now picture,
the one on the right,
and I see who you are now, and I was at both stages in your life, and I see who you are now, and like the growth that you have done personally and business wise is like unmatched. And I feel like you're wanting to go back to that because of all the exciting things you have coming up. You're like, right. I'm not ready for this yet. Yeah, because I mean
I'm sad about it. I think I am ready for it. I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
For it, 100%.
But maybe like I said about like leaving town. Like I'm excited to leave town, but I'm also kind of sad about it.
Yeah,
maybe it's that.
I think you need to go back to that.
I should.
And take pictures there.
I should. I did like 2 years ago, I think. Somebody sent me merch, like photographer merch, and they were like, we'll send it to you for free if you send us like branding photos back. So I actually redid self-portraits, like timer mode, in their merch. I should have put that one on there too, because then it would have been like all 3 eras. It would have been like beginning, middle, and where I am now. But I think it's funny, my hair was really, really long. but
I think
now I should.
Now, you're going to have such a different mindset because it's so sentimental for you right now.
I should actually. This is perfect timing because I think that picture on the left was in April, so I should go.
You should.
Okay. Very good idea. I will.
Goal list.
I will. Keep me accountable for that. The next time you see me, be like, have you gone?
Did you go?
Did you go back yet? Yeah. Wow. I'm like kind of exhausted after that. Thank you for validating me and like helping me understand that, break that down, because that now I'm looking at this completely differently. I really love that. All right. I guess we will move on to the top. I have a couple like quotes in here. I guess I haven't really been saying the quotes. I've only been talking about the pictures. But the picture that we were just talking about, the side by side of me, growth and appreciation, cherish the moment. Those are the pictures of like the vacation and my hometown and us on the walk. Create joy every day. So that's the same thing. Like I want to use my phone more. I want to take more pictures because I never like take my phone out to take pictures. Jake and I only have a couple pictures together. Like I don't have any pictures of me really. Like these 4 pictures are like some of the only ones I have. I don't like take selfies or anything like that. And I want to create joy every day. Memories, like I said, are all we have. Healthy habits. 2024, I made my bed every day. Or pretty much every day. And I want to keep that habit up. It makes me feel really good. And I want to take it a step further and put on an outfit every day. That sounds so stupid, but I work from home and I have nowhere to go. So I wear pajamas like all day, every day. I wake up in the morning, I take a shower at night, wake up in the morning in my clean pajamas still, and I just wear them all day and then take a shower at night and do it all over again. And
rinse and repeat, literally.
Yeah, if I did the closet hack where I spin around my hangers, they would all be unworn. So I want to fix that because I think I learned in 2024 that the little things matter. And so moving over to the bottom right corner, appreciate the little things. And I want to feel better about myself and feel more cute because I don't wear makeup. I don't really like dress up much. Jeans and like a sweater or a shirt like is dressing up for me. And I dyed my hair last year, and I felt like a new woman with that. And I also was getting my nails done, so I have fresh nails on right now actually, and I've been doing that every month since nail salon opened in my town, so, or like next town over, Georgetown, and I really love them, and it's like a 15-minute drive, so I was like, I think I'm gonna, it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to just feel more presentable because I don't wear makeup and because I don't dress up. Like having my hair curled, having my hair freshly washed, having my nails done, I feel like a bad bitch, even though like I don't wear heels, or I don't wear makeup, or I don't wear mascara. Like I don't do, like, I don't know, just putting on a pair of pants and putting on like a cute top makes me feel like I'm bad, and
empowered,
so
and,
yes, it makes me feel bold. So
yes.
I want to feel more comfortable in who I am. Like if somebody knocks on the door, I want to feel good answering the door.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh wow, who's that bum?
Yep.
Like having my hair dirty, like greasy hair just like makes me feel like the grossest person in the world. You know what I mean? So like I want to always, you know, just feel a little bit more like, you know, and I don't know where this came from, but I like the reinventing myself kind of thing. I feel like every couple of years I'm like, I need new outfits. I like need to start fresh. So like that, I know it's always coming when I'm opening up my Depop app, because I don't know if you know Depop.
No.
It's like a thrifting app.
Oh, okay.
Where you can sell clothes and buy other people's clothes.
Oh.
So I've actually sold like 5 things in the past couple months. So that's been helping me clean out my closet also, because I'm like, oh, I never wear this. Let me try to sell it on Depop. And if nobody buys it, then it's a sign I should keep it, which is probably bad logic, but
or a sign you should donate it.
Or maybe that's better.
We're purging.
Maybe that's better. But yeah, I've had the app on my phone since I was like this old, like 19 or whatever, graduating high school, like 17, 18. I got this app because I was like, I don't know, I was like graduating high school, like new phase of life. I wasn't going to college, but like same thing. I was like, I just like want to start fresh. So I got Depop, and I was like getting into thrifting and stuff. And he's in his little bed over there. And I still have the app, and I felt like every couple years I was like buying new items, because I'm not like a big like go to the store buy clothes kind of person. I like thrifting a lot.
Same.
But with Depop, you can like search for what you're looking for rather than like seeing what comes to you in a thrift store. So anyway, that's why I have that picture there of like a cute sweater and jeans, because I want to get more cute sweaters and jeans, and just feel good about myself and kind of reinvent my style, if you will. So yeah, anyway, the little things, healthy habits. I just want to feel good every day, read or journal every day, which I've been pretty good about. So this is a picture of the books that I'm reading right now. I'm reading Throne of Glass, so I guess we can get into like a tiny little book talk. Very long book series. I love it. If you haven't read it, if you're into fantasy, if you're into a little bit of magic, it starts off with just human world. It's like a very nice soft build into a magical fantasy series. It's amazing. And I knew that there were 2 books in the series that you don't have to, but you're supposed to kind of read them at the same time. So these 2 books that are like 600 pages each.
Tell me about.
You're supposed to read them at the same time.
How do you do that? And how do you not get confused?
There's like a chart that people have made online of like read chapters 1 through 5 of this book. Then you read chapter 1 of this one. And there's a whole system. Yeah. So there's these 2 characters who are friends, and they've, you know, been friends throughout like the whole series kind of. And in the last book I just read, like the very end of the book, these 2 characters, one of them has business to do in this country or like this continent or whatever. And then the other character is being drawn to this other place, but they're still both fighting for the same goal. And they both are like, you know, wheels turning in this plot, and they like are both, you know, their actions and everything they're doing, they're trying to get this thing done. But they're both being called into 2 separate directions. But these 2 stories take place at the same time, while one is over here and one's over there. And so this is also a series where it's like kind of medievally, there's no like technology, so they can't communicate. But one of them is learning and working towards something on this continent, and the other one is doing the same. And so they're both learning information, but they can't talk to each other. And so like I'm reading one story and like he knows something and he can't tell the girl and she's learning something and she can't tell him, but like they are trying to work together at the same time, but they're separate and they're apart. So anyway, I knew that this was coming. I've been wanting to read the series for a little while, and I was like, I'm gonna read it and try to get to this tandem read, 2-book read in my off season while I have the time. And I'm finally there in the book series, and it's February, so I have 2 months to get this going. And well, I guess it's end of February. My first wedding is in March, but my goal is to do it before I get really crazy busy. So keep you guys posted on that. So nourishment in mind and soul. I'd like to read every day and journal every day. I'd like to do one or the other, waking up and going to bed. I just feel better starting my day that way. And I know on the last episode that we had with Devin, I was saying that I was pretty good on my phone goal of not getting on my phone every day. I have relapsed, but I'm trying to get better about it, and like put my phone on my desk or like across the room while I'm sleeping so that when I wake up, I have to get out of bed to go get my phone or just get out of bed in general. And with making my bed every day, it makes it easier for me to not crawl back into bed if it's already made, because then I'll ruin it. So that's been like a nice boundary that I've set for myself last year, and I'd like to take it a step further with my phone this year. So I want to get a wall clock or like an alarm clock so that when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to look at my phone to know what time it is. I can just know what time it is, and instead of reaching for my phone, I can reach for my book or reach for my journal and write down a thought before I get my day going. And it's a nice like way to unwind after a long day and kind of like process my thoughts or dissociate from my thoughts and be taken into a magical world instead. So yeah, I would like to nourish my mind and soul and do that, and also create joy every day with a new old hobby. I would like to get back into crocheting and knitting.
Yes, I was wondering where that was going to come in.
Yes, my goal for 2025 is to make that sweater. I love that sweater so much. It's a cute like granny square cardigan kind of a thing. It's adorable.
It's so you.
And my personal Instagram feed is pretty much just yarn patterns and stuff. And so I've seen this all over my Instagram for some time, and I've always saved them. I've seen them in all different colors. Different people have made them. It's like a trending pattern right now, and I really, really, really want to make it. But I just like always feel like I don't have the time or the energy to do it. And a friend of mine, Morgan Unraveled, she has a YouTube channel, so you guys should check her out, and an Instagram, Morgan Unraveled. She is all into her cozy hobbies. She's a candle maker. Well, she lives in Australia right now, but when we met, she was living in Virginia, I believe, and she was having a little mini candle business, and I have one right there, the one that says Evergreen, and she was Mine Aroma Co., and so good, very much like Melissa with Weekend Glow. Everything is like natural soys and stuff. She has I forget what it is, but it's like one of those menstrual issues where like hormonal scents and like fragrances and like chemicals and stuff are bad for her. So she was like making them for herself and was like, I can sell these. And she is on her knitting journey right now. And so now her content is like motherhood and knitting. And she's been so motivating for me. I've been watching her videos so much lately. And I just really, really, really want to get back into it because I used to be such a big crafter. I started knitting when I was in the 4th grade and I loved it. And I was like doing the loom knitting with, it has like the little pegs, and I was like making hats and stuff. And then when I got to, I think like middle school, I started knitting, and then high school, I started crocheting. And I was really depressed in high school, so I would crochet all the time, and I didn't really care about classes or anything, so I would just like whip out a scarf that I'd be making, and I would just be doing that in class all day every day for like the last 2 years of high school. And I'm not even kidding, I would make like 2 scarves a week, like just in high school. Like I didn't have time to do it outside of school, so that's why I would also do it in class, because I had a lot of like extracurriculars. I was never really at home. And I would make like half of a scarf a day. I like insane. And I was just such a fast crocheter, and I had so much fun, and it was like the highlight of my life. And so looking at this sweater, it's like I could probably make that sweater in 2 days. But I'm going to give myself a year because I don't feel like I can do it right now. But maybe I make like one granny square like a month. There's probably 10 there. You know, maybe I'll just slowly achieve that goal, because I like really want to do it by the end of 2025. I really want to get back into crafting, back into knitting, and crocheting. But at this moment in time, I don't have the energy to do that right now. That's not in my mind's eye. I want to, but there's like something holding me back. And so that'll come to me when it's ready. And having it on my vision board might remind me of that. And having all this yarn in the corner. I'm also put that there because I'm like, Megan, get going.
Look at it. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's on my goal. These are all my goals for the year. Plans in motion for Alaska. Baby steps. We're working on it. We're doing 2 retreats and an actual wedding. So plans in motion there. The little things: wear a cute outfit, do my hair, have cute nails. Growth and appreciation. Appreciate where I've come from and appreciate the growth of where I'm going and where I am right now. Cherish this moment that I'm in right now and the space that I'm in, my town, my home state. And this will be my last time living here, hopefully, God forbid. And I would like to not hate it anymore and appreciate it before it's gone. And I also say that because Connecticut is getting so built up right now. They're putting in so many apartments and stuff, and there's actually more people in Fairfield County, in our county, than there is in the whole state of Alaska. And so I want to appreciate, I mean, it's huge, but there's like populated, I mean, like congested. I feel like claustrophobic in Connecticut, which is why I want to like get out, but it's only going to get worse. And so I kind of want to appreciate what Connecticut is right now, because I feel like it's going to be different in the next probably 10 years. So I want to, you know, take as many pictures and remember this moment and like this phase of life, and then create joy every day with that, with either knitting or appreciating the space I'm in, taking pictures every day, and nourish those healthy habits for my mind and soul, making my bed every day, reading, knitting, journaling, and feeling all things aligned and abundant. And that is my vision board for 2025.
I love, love, love.
I am tired after that.
Woo! Thank you for sharing all of that. Juicy, juicy, juicy good details. I feel confident to do mine next, so I'm super excited about that. Well, I will leave you guys with just some tips that I've learned this past year in my coaching program on how to set your goals. Vision boards are huge contribute to setting goals and having them more likely to be achieved because you're looking at it all the time. That is the point of a vision board, is to visualize your goals and experiences throughout the year. So definitely when you set yourself up to start your vision board, have a clear goal in mind and have it pan out in your whole vision board. And then some things that I like to talk about with goal setting is an exercise that I typically do each year. This year, I'm definitely diving deeper into it because I've gotten a lot of tools from my coaching program this past year. But I like to set 10 goals, and that sounds crazy. Have 10 goals and then divide those into like pros and cons. Like, what is something that I really want to get done this year? What is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, but it can wait a little bit? That might go on my con list. So put those goals into pros and cons. Then pick 3 of those top goals that are your goals that you are going to get done this year. Then go a little deeper and pick those out and put those into bite-sized monthly achievable things. So what that means is each month you have your 3 goals in mind, with one of those being your top goals. So technically you have 2 that you are going to kind of also focus on, but one is going to be your main goal. So kind of a spread treat. So I'm going to kind of dive back because that was a lot of information. So you're going to set 10 goals. You are going to put a pros and cons list. Out of the pro side, pick 3 of those pros that you are going to dive into every single month, with one of the 3 being your top one. Like, it is non-negotiable. This is my goal that I want to achieve by the end of 2025. Then each month you are going to, I wrote this down so I didn't forget, have a monthly plan on how to achieve those 3 goals. They can be little. Like, I haven't really set my full goal this year, but in my head, I think it is not bartending events anymore. My goal last year was to really set my team up for success. I didn't do as many as I probably did I didn't do as many as I did the year before because I physically couldn't be there. But this year, even if I physically can be there, I'm really looking to not work those events. But it's still a mindset that I'm trying to change in my own head. But that is my goal, my main goal for this year, is to really allow my team to fully function without me. But each month I need to set that down into minor goals and say, how am I going to do this for the month? And I think it's looking at each event, looking at how I'm going to logistically get the trailers there, get everything there. And I'm diving into smaller goals. So basically what this is doing is you have a head goal in mind, but you're breaking it down into almost like a pyramid. And each step is smaller goals, bite-sized pieces to chew the entire goal. Does
Pyramid
that make
is
sense?
a really good way to describe it, because yeah, then you can see like these 10 tiny things and how they each like have this overarching whatever thing. That's a really that like visualized it for me,
because I
like
think
that.
When people set a goal, it's like, okay, here, like I'm going to use a monetary goal. I want to reach $100,000 in revenue for the year. Okay, yes, you can do that, but like, how are you doing that? What are all the steps that you're going to do to get there? And I feel like that's overwhelming for a lot of people, because it's like, all right, well, if I book this many events, or if I book this much revenue, then I'll be able to get to the 100,000 by the end of the year. And then if you don't do it by your first month, you're like, oh my God, wait, I'm already behind. So now I got to catch up the next and the next and the next. And I feel like you just come into this habit of like overwhelming yourself. Whereas if you have your major goal and then you put it into bite-sized pieces, I think eventually you're going to surpass your goal, because you've done it in such a way that you're still focusing on the main goal, but it's broken down into so many little pieces that it's so much easier for you to obtain.
Yeah, that's how I wrote my business plan, actually. I was like, I want to be full-time in this in 3 years was my goal, I think. And I stepped it down like year by year. Okay, so if I want to be full-time at 3 years, what do I want to be doing at year 2? What do I want to be doing at year 1? And where do I want to be like tomorrow? Yeah, I put it into like tinier bite-sized pieces. Like I want to do this many sessions before the end of the year, go part-time by year 2, and then go full-time by year 3. That was like my goal. And then I ended up just like quitting my job and just like going ham instead. But having it written down made it seem so much more attainable to me, instead of being like, here's this big thing that seems really daunting and seems really overwhelming and completely unattainable for I'm just a girl. And putting it into those bite-sized pieces made it seem so much easier. And I feel like I learned a lot from that. And now with Alaska, that's kind of what I'm doing, is like moving across the country to Alaska. Like that sounds insane, but like booking myself in advance and considering where we're moving and like going back and back again and again. Like we're going to be going back for our 3rd time this summer, and probably we'll be going back maybe again in the spring. I don't know, next spring. But yeah, putting it into like the littler pieces, that's like, okay, well, this is a little step and a little step and a little step. And then all of a sudden you're like halfway up the ladder. It's like, whoa, I really like that.
I just think as an overall, like, I'm someone who, I have all these big ideas. As entrepreneurs, I think we all fall into that trap of we want to do all these things, but then we don't realize that because we're doing so much, we're forgetting about the main core of what we wanted to do at the end of the day. I fall into that trap every single year. You know, I set all these goals and I'm like, I'm going to achieve all of this. And then I forget about them because I'm either not looking at my vision board every day, or I'm not doing my I don't want to say my job. Something that I'm doing this year is I'm going to do monthly reviews of myself. And I used to do this in corporate. Because, we'd have a monthly review with our team or our boss or whatever. But as entrepreneurs, like, you're holding yourself accountable. So I'm going to do monthly reviews with myself and say, okay, in January, here's my main goal. Here are my 3 little nuggets to get to that main goal. What did I achieve? And if I achieve 2 of them, I'm going to pat myself on the back and I'm going to celebrate the hell out of it. And then the one that I didn't do yet, I'll push it to the next month and use that continued on my 3 things to get to that main goal. So going back to like the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid is all your 10 different little things, but each month like add something new from those 10 things to set yourself up to reach that main goal. I don't really have examples because I haven't fully set mine out for this year, but whatever your goal is, just give yourself little bite-sized pieces each month, because I feel like that is going to make yourself feel more accomplished, and it's going to allow yourself each month to see your success.
Right.
And I think as entrepreneurs, we love to have gratitude. Like we love to see our success. We don't always celebrate it because that's just who we are as entrepreneurs. We're constantly going on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Versus celebrating what we just accomplished.
Yeah.
Like last year, I should have celebrated that I allowed my team to book events, but instead I'm like, oh, I still worked too many events last year.
Yeah. You only focus on what you didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, yeah. Yeah.
So in addition to that, celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge thing that we do not do as entrepreneurs. Like we forget that we should be proud of what we're doing each month. And, you know, whether it's getting your nails done and that's your celebrate, like whatever it is, have something that you can be like, I did it and I'm going to allow myself to go do this.
I like that.
I think mine's going to be a massage.
Woo!
I need a massage each month. I don't know what it looks like, but that was something that again, back to my coaching program, which it was great. One of the things that she gave us quarterly was, if you reach your goal, how are you going to celebrate yourself? And I just thought that was actually very hard for me to answer, because I never, like for 2 quarters, it was to allow myself to buy UGG slippers. Literally for 2 quarters, because I didn't reach my goal last quarter, like the whatever quarter it was. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get those UGG slippers. I ended up not buying them for myself because I realized it really wasn't something I really wanted or needed. So that wasn't a good accomplishment for me, because it wasn't really something I wanted or needed. Like maybe it's a vacation I'm going to allow myself to go on with my family. Like that is something that I want to do and need to do and enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Versus UGG slippers. Like I feel like you have to make the reward so big that you want to achieve it.
Yeah.
So those are my tidbits for today.
I like that. I think I'm going to do that. Instead of journaling tonight, I think I'm going to write down my goals and do like my pyramid, because I really think putting it visually like that is going to help me a lot. And the pro-con thing is interesting too.
And another thing that we did, and this was when I went to my conference recently, we had a full sheet, and I won't dive into it because it's honestly very complicated, and me doing it to pen and paper was much easier than looking at an Excel sheet. So I also realized that I am a pen and paper kind of gal, but it was breaking down all of your bite-sized goals and then set even smaller, like to the point where it's like, how many hours is this going to take you to do? Like that is how detailed we got. And then it was like, and what date are you going to achieve this? So it was like a full mapped out version of it.
Okay, wow.
Which was crazy and detailed, and I'm not going to go into details of it, but the point that I'm getting at is you can dive into it so meticulously where you're actually putting, and now you would go from 10 to like 70 little bite-sized goals.
Wow.
And then you're specifically putting, this action to get to my main goal is going to take me 5 hours, and I'm going to give myself a week to do it. And then you're going to have a due date on that too. So like you could really dive into all of that, and honestly putting it pen to paper, and it was on a yellow sheet of paper. So all the people who were at the conference, we joke about like, how's your yellow sheet going? How's the yellow sheet going? Because it was really interesting to see. It stemmed from one main goal, and it allowed us to have 70 bite-sized tasks to do for that main goal.
Wow.
So that's a lot to kind of talk about on a podcast, but just envision giving yourself little micro doses to get to that big idea.
I really like that.
Yeah.
I like more of the by the end of the month kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I could schedule my time like that. Like I'm like a person that likes to do things when it's on my terms. So like I really did not thrive in like the high school, like a school environment or like 9-to-5 work environment, because I like to do things when my body feels like it's ready, or when my mind and soul feel like it's ready, which is why like the entrepreneur life works so well for me, because like if I want to work late one night and sleep in the next, I'm able to do that. And that's a luxury that I worked hard to get to, and that I really appreciate. And that's why I'm in this, is, well, one, my why, and like why I love what I do. But for like the personal side of things, like it's just like my business works for me in my personal life. It gives me the life that I want to live and allows me to move across the country and like, you know, and continue to do what I want to do, and not have to worry about things like that. But yeah, so like the scheduling it and being like doing it by this date, I don't think that would work for me, because then it would make me not want to do it, because I feel like obligated to.
Yeah.
But
it does work for a lot of people. I think our brains are similar.
I think so.
But that kind of reminded me of one more thing before we end today, is have a why again.
Yeah.
Like, it can change over years, but like my why continues to be, I want to live the best life for my kids and I will never go back to corporate. Yeah. Like that hasn't changed. It's evolved into different like I want my kids to see me doing great things, and I want my kids to see me working hard and all this, but like it still goes back at the end of the day when I'm like not booking events and my bank account's getting lower and things are happening out of my, you know, control, and I'm like, I will not go back to corporate. Like at the end of the day, that is just what sticks in my head. I will not go back to corporate. And that is my why of working hard and figuring out ways to make money and figuring out all the things, because I was like, I will not go back to work for someone else. Like that's just what it comes back down to. So yeah, have a good why, have a really strong why, but it has to be like, it can't be something that isn't gonna like eat your soul away. Like when I say I won't go back to corporate, I literally see myself in my little office with no windows at a desk and having like my boss come in my office, and I would cringe like, oh God, what did I do wrong now? And like I just like I remember that feeling, and that feeling makes me not want to go back.
Yeah, for me it's like the feeling of not feeling like I'm doing enough. Mm-hmm. Like I would have that feeling when I was stuck in like the school environment, and then like the 7 to 2 whatever work environment was just like I felt like I could do more than what I was doing, and I was frustrated, and I kind of felt like I was wasting my time kind of thing. Like I knew that I could be doing something to me that felt more valuable, even though like I loved what I did, and I was in the retirement home, and like they loved what I was doing, and it was a great like relationship there, but I still like in my soul, and like how you've described, like I felt like I was called for more, or that like I could be doing something more valuable and something that meant deeper to people. And so the wedding photography, like I just like I get such a good fulfillment and like sense out of that with the feedback that I get from people that like I matter, and the work that I'm doing is like changing somebody's life. I feel like that is what lights me up, is like feeling like I'm making such a big difference, even if it's just in like this couple's life and then this couple's life. It doesn't have to change the world, but that's me and my why, and why I'll never go back to like a scheduled job like that. Maybe temporarily when I move if I have to, that's one thing, but as like a permanent thing, I don't think I could ever do it, because now that I've found this and I love what I do, like I could never not be doing this.
But I also feel like you have found so many other outlets too, like pet sitting and all the other things because of it that I feel like you will find your way. Like I do, you know, virtual social media classes, I do coaching, I do cocktail classes, I do like there's so many things that have stemmed from the mobile bar business that I didn't expect to stem from it, like the big event, like just so many opportunities that I feel like as entrepreneurs your creative juices are flowing so much that you'll figure out a way. You will. Well, thanks for chatting and listening with us today. I think this was a really fun episode. I absolutely love your vision board. I think
thank you.
You like pinpoint so many amazing opportunities for your life, and I'm so excited.
Thank you so
2025
much.
Is going to be so good.
I'm so excited to see yours. I hope that this is motivating.
Oh, it totally is.
For you to
I'm
go home and do yours.
Going home to do Canva. I can't wait.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Do your vision board. Put it on your phone. Print it out. Put it by your computer.
Yes.
Or where you're going to see it every single day. And we'll see you soon.
Cheers.